51st state, where the beat drops great. No map needed, just sounds completed. 51st state, where the beat drops great. No map needed, just sounds completed. 51st state, where the beat drops great.
Right.
Gabster.
Okay.
With the no hair.
All right, okay.
With
Ça,
the
c'est à
bald
toi.
spot.
Ça, c'est à toi.
Yep.
C'est comme
You have the
ça.
bottle close because I'm definitely going to be wanting another cup.
Yep, it's
Okay,
right there.
Great, thank you. Just
Dans le fond, je vais mettre ta bouteille d'eau en dessous.
yeah, mets la bouteille d'eau en dessous.
Comme ça. Okay. All right. Okay, cool. Ready, Frank?
Yes.
Comment on dit ça? C'est...
Why is your glass so flimsy? Like why?
No, because it's a smaller glass. I didn't want to...
You don't want to look like an alcoholic.
Okay, cheers, guys, to a nice podcast, okay?
Cheers.
Cheers. Wait, hold on. Let's take a video. I'm one of those.
It's
We're
incredible.
not gonna make it to a minute.
All right.
Cheers.
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 Can I say salute in Italian? Salute.
Salud. On the mic.
fucking hit the mic.
And then
I was like-
LS
I was
on the
like-
mic, and then we're officially screwed.
I was like, oh shit.
Drink this.
All right.
Good.
Okay, everyone, welcome back to the 51st State Podcast. I'm your host, Stephen Charles. With me today, my co-host, Tammy. And we have a special guest in the place. A big welcome to our friend, Frank, Freeway Frank.
Guys, thanks for having me on.
What's your last name, Frank?
I don't give my real last name.
Oh, for real? You don't?
I'm like Bono, U2, Madonna, Shaka Khan. I don't need to use. Well, everybody.
No, because I need to know if it's risotto.
We all know it's not risotto, but we all know Shumba. You know? I'm just gonna say that.
No, it's all jokes, guys. It's all jokes. Guys, welcome back to the 51st State Podcast. Like I said, we took the winter break.
Holidays.
We didn't want to miss a beat. So we promised you guys we're going to be back in the first week of January. So we're here. So new location, temporary, just, so we get everything set up back to the studio, at the studio. It was beyond us. So, we had to find another location. So that's why you have the nice portraits in the back. We're not telling you where we are. It's private. Secret
location.
People in the comments say, yeah, they're there.
We're not telling you where you are, but you want my last name. So as soon as people hate what I'm saying, they're gonna come straight to my house. They're gonna stand up. Okay. Everything else is discreet.
But yeah. So, anyways, guys, as you know, this podcast is sponsored by my brand, the one and only LS Cream. Which, again, if you've been watching our social media, we started our content with like Bailey's but better. I'm gonna make T-shirts.
I would wear those T-shirts.
I'm making T-shirts.
I'd wear the hoodie, the T-shirt, and cap.
It's been doing great. YouTube Shorts, it's been going great. So I'm really happy about that. Like, it's so fun to see the people tasting LS Cream in real time, seeing the reactions, and like, it's so funny because like a lot of people like that tasted LS Cream before, like, they've DM me and saying like, oh my God, we can't wait for it to be back at the SAQ,
100%.
like in Montreal. So like, and it's just fun to see the community and what we've done with, because again, like I was telling you, Frank, there's not a lot of creams that do what we do, which is like cool. When you think about creams, it's like safe,
Safe and boring.
But LS Cream has that edge, and people are like, when they're buying it, they feel they're buying more than just a bottle. Like they're participating like in, in
the history.
In the history and the journey.
Yeah.
Because there's a big story behind it with your grandmother, right?
Exactly, and it's really like there's a lot of big boys in that industry. So it's like for us as a smaller guy to be able to get into the States, to get into Total Wine, to get into Hyatt hotels and stuff like that. Like, we're really happy about that, and to share the story with people, and like it's just fun. So anyways, go check out our Instagram, our YouTube Shorts and so forth, and even our Facebook. Everything is on there. So creamls.com. If you're in the States, just go on there. You have a store locator. We are in 15 states in stores, but we can have it delivered in about 36 states. So, thank you for everybody that support LS Cream.
100%.
And, and of course, guys, we have a Patreon. So patreon.com/51st State. You go on there, you support us. That's how we keep the lights, literally, we keep the lights on. So every week we have extra content that we share on our Patreon, and you get this episode first, so before it goes on YouTube. And then you also get the opportunity to ask us questions and subjects that we're going to tackle on the pod. So, guys, a bunch of you are members. You're not sending us questions. Guys, you're paying money. So please do it, okay? So I know you enjoy the content, but please send us your questions and subjects. It'll be our pleasure to answer it on the pod. Mm-hmm. So without further ado, let's start the podcast. Frank.
Well, look at that. The camera goes straight to me.
And the image is
First of all, I want to say, if I may say, congratulations, because this brand is phenomenal. And usually I'm a Scotch drinker, gin, Kentucky bourbon, all the things you can't get in Quebec anymore, including LS for the time being, but it's coming soon to an SAQ near you. And when I tasted this for the first time, which funny enough, we met, so we had been going back and forth a lot on Instagram, Stevens and I, and we met at a Total Wines in Cherry Hill, New Jersey for the first time. That's where we had our Tinder date. And he walks in and he gives me a big hug, and all my familia is there, my Italian family, and there he is with this brand. And that's where we met, because coincidentally, we were there in New Jersey at the same time. And that's the first time I tasted it, first time I met him. And I was blown away, and so was my family. They're not even drinkers. Everybody,
thank you.
Now they're on their second bottle, twice, 2 families. They're up to at least 6 bottles. So
that's amazing. Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, again, thank you so much to your family, by the way. But you know, it's funny. That's the power of social media, because we met because of social media. First of all, I mean on social media, just reaching out and whatever. But you posted a story that you were in Jersey, but I remember it was not Cherry Hill. It was
I was in East Windsor, New Jersey.
Right. So anyway, so I saw that you were in Jersey because of a story, and it prompted me to react and say, "Hey, I'm in Jersey too." And then, I'm going to be in Cherry Hill tomorrow. Me too.
Yeah, because my cousin lives in New Jersey in Cherry Hill, but where he grew up is East Windsor. I go, when you wrote to me, I go, there's Jersey's big. Mm-hmm. Everybody thinks it's, as soon as he said Cherry Hill, the Total Wines. That's where I'm actually going.
That's crazy.
To go get some cigars and get some, the one bottle I'm allowed to bring back. So that's where we met, and that's where I had it for the first time. And I'm not just saying it because I'm on your podcast. This is addictive.
Thank you.
Because it's so delicious, and I couldn't wait to have it. And I knew you were going to share some with me on this podcast, and it was one of the reasons I was so excited. Besides the fact that I was going to see you again and meet Tammy for the first time. Yeah, for sure. We hit it off. We had maybe a drink before and talked about it and realized we're on the same team. But it should never be teams, okay? But anyway.
We on the same team.
Great drink. Great paintings, too. You're an incredible artist. I don't know where you get the time to do this and that. Anyway.
But you guys don't see because it's off camera, but Frank brought us some Lafrenet patisserie bakeries. Yeah. So we're gonna enjoy that with some LS later. So big shout out to Lafrenet also. Yeah. So
awesome.
Anyway, so thank you everyone. So Frank, why don't you just introduce yourself to our crowd, and just tell them briefly who you are, where you come from, and why you exist.
So still here, shockingly, after everything we've gone through this decade. I was born and raised in Montreal, and I always loved broadcasting and radio from when I was a kid.
Right.
Used to listen to radio. I was so inquisitive. I wanted to know where the voice was coming from the radio. So I would open up and destroy all the clock radios and speakers to hear at a young age. I wasn't too bright, still not. But anyway, just to find out where the voice was coming from. So I was always excited by broadcasting, and I ended up studying, not necessarily specifically radio, but I went into languages and literature and took a lot of TV and radio courses, went to university, didn't get into the communications program. Whatever. And then ended up doing radio while I was in university. I was submitting demo tapes and got in, started doing overnights on a radio station called 990 Hits at the time here in Montreal on the AM dial. Long story short, It took me 3 years here in Montreal, where I debuted my radio career, 10 years in Vancouver, 7 years in Toronto, 4 years in Calgary, 10 years back in Montreal until I lost my gig in 2019. May have heard of that or may not. And and that's it. I did 30 years in the industry. And since then, have my own home studio and been doing a podcast called The Drive-By for the last 4 years.
We started during the pandemic.
It started, yes, right
And
during.
it took off.
It did very well, and it's still doing. It's at the time I checked the last time, which was a week ago, or a couple of weeks ago when it hit its 4-year anniversary. It's 208 weeks consecutively charting on the Canadian chart, which is great.
Wow.
So the podcast has done very well, and as you know, podcasting is a grind. You got to keep doing it.
Yep.
Sometimes, believe it or not, some people think it's easy and you could come in here and just turn on a mic and talk, but there's content, there's things you got to prepare for.
For sure.
People you have to have on the podcast.
Yep.
Tammy, you'll get a chance to speak at some point. I'm sorry. You asked me, Frank, tell me about your life. That's the worst thing you can ask in a time. Well, let me tell you about my life.
Exactly.
Anyway, so I've been doing the podcast for 4 years, 343 episodes later, and still doing it. I have a home studio, which I love working from, blessed to have that. And the radio career was great for the time that I did it, which was 30 years. I really experienced the heydays of radio, the good years. Before streaming, before that, the 90s were incredible on the radio. I mean, everything from... not that they were incredible moments, but for radio, Michael Jackson, his death, Tupac, B.I.G. I have tapes, and actually my wife bought me this thing on Amazon so I could put with a USB all my tapes, my air checks from my radio years on my computer, and I was doing radio during all those big events. 9/11, the night of 9/11, had to go on the air. So radio was massive before streaming, podcasting, and everything else came in to kind of disrupt it, and it never changed with the times, hence why it's kind of just there now, and everything else has just gone by them.
Quick question. Are you familiar with The Breakfast Club in New York?
Yes, of course. With Charlemagne the God,
Of course.
I know all those. I don't know them personally, but I know I'm a radio guy, so I know.
So it seems to be doing really well. So what do you think they're doing different? I mean, I have an idea.
I'll tell you.
Yeah,
Charlemagne, and first of all, the consultant that Charlemagne the God had was our consultant, Freeway Natasha here in Montreal. Because they always just say, this guy in New York, Charlemagne the God. Charlemagne, I'd be like, who calls themselves God? And then I started watching. And you know what I like about him, and I've always liked about him, that we were not able to do as much on the radio, is give our thoughts and opinions the way we do here on podcast.
Right.
Yes.
He gets to talk about anything.
Yeah.
He'll have Hillary Clinton on, Kamala Harris.
Yep.
Could have had Donald Trump, I'm sure. I don't think Trump ended up going on his podcast.
He didn't.
But the point is the guy's well-versed. He surrounds himself from people who are not just sucking up and agreeing with him, but people who have different opinions.
Different opinions.
And he's very good at what he does, but he's unique in the sense that there's not too many people doing that on the airwaves.
Yeah.
If the rest of radio would catch up to shows like that and just talk about everything,
Authentically so,
things would change.
Okay, so
100%.
I want to add something to that.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you saw it. It recently blew up, but they did it a month ago. So New York Times did a roundtable with about, I think there were 10 different media personalities, from podcasts to newspaper to TV host, TV journalists, and so forth. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I don't, and I'm surprised because I would be familiar. This just came out?
It came out a month ago.
Okay.
So crazy. So, so they do that roundtable, and on there, listen to the names, okay? Steph Rule. Do you know her?
Yeah, I've heard
I think
of her.
she's CBC. I think she
CNN. Not CNN.
CNBC.
CNBC.
Okay.
Yeah.
Andrew Schultz.
Yeah.
Charlemagne.
Great comedian. Yeah.
Ben Shapiro.
Yeah.
Another guy. He's on what's it called? I forgot what it is. A guy from Fox. Another guy from ABC. Anyways, you guys get the point. What I'm saying is they did that on purpose to have a conversation about the landscape of media as of today. Oh my God! For anybody, I think in our field, which is talking about stuff, understanding and seeing how they lost their ways, especially during the pandemic, about how media is being perceived, and stuff like that, you need to listen to it.
Oh, for sure.
It's a pure jewel to see people clash, like, and understand in real time that the dinosaurs, Charlemagne and Andrew turned circles around them. It was hilarious to see because they're not genuine. They think at one point they were talking about the Russia hoax with Donald Trump, right? The big thing about the Russia collusion or whatever, and so forth. And they were pressing Andrew Schultz on it, saying that when he got Donald Trump on his podcast, that he wasn't well versed about it and whatever. And he's like, "You guys don't get it. I represent the people. So if I don't understand about the Russian collusion and stuff, what do you think the guy on the other side of the table, he doesn't understand it too. So that's where you're losing people, you know. Anyways, just a sidebar. I just wanted to say that
I'm definitely going to watch that. I'm surprised that I didn't see that. I've seen a lot of other debates.
Just write New York Times and write Charlemagne.
Okay.
And you'll see it. It's a round table with a bunch of people there and whatever. But I just thought that when you were talking about, like, radio here is so different than radio in the States.
It is.
You know? And I think they should catch up. They should. I don't know if they're going to.
Well, if you're going to save the industry that's been dying since 2005, it's been 20 years that I realized this thing is not the same like the heyday years. You would have to allow the airwaves to open and have honest opinions. So that's what they're scared. You're never going to turn on the radio here in Montreal or in any Canadian city and hear them talking about Mark Carney, the premier, Justin Trudeau. They'll talk about Justin Trudeau and Katy Perry. But they're never going to talk about, you know, maybe
policies.
I want to hear what your thoughts are. If you're hosting a morning show, who cares? I mean, if everybody's on one side, it's one thing. But if everybody has their favorite, let's say, their own opinion, it'll make for compelling and great radio. But I don't think they want that. They just want to play it safe and appease the advertisers that are barely hanging on because they're not. It's not as much as before.
Yeah, of course. While we're talking about that, and I'm going to go...
LS, cream liquor. If I had my glasses, I could say an ode to legacy. Exotic notes of vanilla. Nutmeg. Somebody get my glasses. Coconut and cinnamon. LS. Available everywhere except Canada.
Quebec. Okay,
you're going to clip that, right?
Yeah, 100%.
I'm like clipping it.
So, guys, on the more serious matter, because, you know, it's the 51st State podcast. And I just want to say, you congratulated me on the name that I chose for the podcast.
Gutsy.
But a lot of people they're not understanding the sarcasm behind the fact that, you know, of course we're Canadians and we're proud to be Canadians.
Yeah.
But are we really going to sit here and lie about the fact that everything that we do is about the U.S.? American culture? I'm not saying that we don't have our own culture. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying everybody here is still going to watch the Super Bowl. The movies that we go see that are number one in the country are always American movies. The music that we listen to on the radio is American music. And the news that we consume is American news. Sometimes you open the news, the Canadian news, CBC, and the first news on the docket is going to be something that happened in the States or something that Donald Trump did. I never opened the TV in the States and Mark Carney was talking.
Unless Trump was saying something.
Unless Trump was saying something to him. So I wanted to point that out because I'm guessing some people are going to come from your crowd to come listen to this, and I just want them to understand that it is sarcasm, that we did that on purpose, but at some point, we are the 51st state. Like, when you really, really think about it, I mean, right now, like, we're separating ourselves from the U.S. right now, the way that it stands, but for a long time, it was like, crossing the border was just, all right, there's
easy.
A border, but you know, it's okay, there's a border, but like we didn't really see it as a real border. Like,
card, like.
It's so I don't know if you agree with what I'm saying or like.
Well, first of all, I think it's a fantastic name. I wish I had it. I like the name on my podcast, but no, I think it's a great name. The other one was more Montreal centric.
Of course.
think it's an awesome name because people are going to be doing exactly what you just said, trying to figure out what does he mean by that?
Right,
Like,
right,
are we
right.
the 51st state? Does he
Right.
want us to be the 51st state?
Right.
But the way I look at it, if you're going to ask me what I think about the whole 51st
Yeah.
state thing, like there's a secret part of me. I'm not going to deny I've always loved America.
Oh, yeah.
As I'm sure both of you
Yes.
do. We've been immersed in American.
She's an American.
Yeah, she told me earlier. So we've been immersed in American culture, and Canada is not even a blip on the radar in the United States. It's only made the news because of Justin Trudeau's ridiculousness
course.
over the years.
Of course,
Other
of course.
things our government has done.
And he was
but
good looking for people.
Whatever. He's walking down the street and it's not Justin Trudeau. Is anyone looking at him? I don't know.
Yeah.
I've always said this.
True.
But I think the name is great. But I was on another podcast, and it was a very right-wing podcast.
Okay.
And I think the person may have expected, great guy, may have expected me to say that I want to be the 51st state. This is what I tell everybody. As much as I love the United States, I'm a proud Canadian. I don't want us being swallowed up by the United States. As a matter of fact, I would like to leave on my own terms, meaning if I want to go to the U.S., let me go on my own. Let me escape on my own. Let me go there and say, you know what? I don't want to stay in Canada anymore. I don't like what's going on. I left, as opposed to the United States taking us over. And, because we do have an identity. We do have a Constitution. We do have, we've been around since 1867. We have, I think, something good. Hasn't been great in the last decade, but we could have something good going if we had the right people in power. But what does that mean? I think anybody on either side right now, I think the government, not a fan of, no secret. If you follow my podcast, I mean, I've lost hope in everybody, to tell you the honest truth.
100%.
On both sides really get to me. But the bottom line is the 51st, look, if it happened, I wouldn't be the first one out there complaining. I'd be like, 51st state, okay, Steph, that's my wife. We're going to Arizona. It's just going to be easier. That's it. Okay, there's no more complications.
Yeah.
Incredible. But yeah, again, I'm just saying, you're echoing in a sense what I'm saying, which is at the end of the day, it's not as simple as we're not. Just to be clear, we're not. How can I say this? We're not friends.
Who's not friends?
No. I mean,
That's what I was
We're
like.
friends.
That's what I was looking at him. I was like, what is
France really has its own culture, right?
France?
Friends. I thought you said
Okay,
friends.
friends.
I go.
That's what I thought you
we
said.
started a great
I swear
friendship
to
here.
God,
Tammy and
that's what
I. You don't want to be my friend? No problem.
Sometimes his English is just, you know what I mean?
France. Okay, France. That country. Yes.
Sorry. Sorry, but that's
That's another place that's falling apart. But that's
that's
for another
another
show.
story.
Yeah.
But
100%.
no. What I'm saying, sorry, is they have in France.
Yeah.
They have a culture that's really entitled to them. So even when you're talking about the movies, you're talking about exactly what I was saying, the Super Bowl, whatever. Like you never see people celebrating the Super Bowl over there. They're more into soccer, they're more into and stuff like that, whatever. So again, I feel that the fact that we're connected to US by land, whatever, brings their own and history also. Like I remember like growing up, I kept telling people, man, we were this close of getting HBO. Like
That's
true. When you look at the history,
Yeah.
but it's just a joke. But I mean,
It was.
and I think it's people coming at us and oh my God, 51st state, you're for Donald Trump. No, guys, it's always been like this. Come on, let's stop lying. So anyways, I just want to point that out.
But even if we were, hypothetically, right, in the sense of even if we were full-blown MAGA supporters, right, you're allowed to call your podcast what you want first and foremost. Like that's number one. People should have the intelligence to just question things, but people are just so easily offended that they're like, oh my God, 51st day podcast, how could you say that? Oh my God, you guys are talking English now, there's no more French. Oh my God, this, that. You know what I mean? And it's like, you know what, at the end of the day, it's your podcast. You could do what you want with it, number 1 through 10, okay? Number 2, 51st Day Podcast is a great name.
Yeah.
It's a great name.
But
If
some
you
people
just-
were so agitated by what Donald Trump said and
but
the
it
way
don't
that he
matter.
said it. Like people are like they're losing grasp on reality.
Yeah.
But
that's
it's not just that. I think
they're wearing
that,
Nikes. They're wearing. They're
No,
going to
but
Walmart. They're like it's like.
No, but the
come
IQ,
on, guys.
society's IQ, unfortunately, has been lowered like in the last, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure,
have been lowered. And that's why people are just easily offended. They don't use objective thinking. They don't question things. They don't seek to understand where are you coming from by naming it the 51st Date Podcast. All they do is jump to conclusions because Donald Trump said, whatever he said. No, at the end of the day, that's ridiculous. So it's the 51st Date Podcast. That's what it is. We speak English here. End of story. Thank you.
Point bar. But yeah.
Period.
Period.
I said what I said and I stand on it.
Well, speaking of the 51st Date Podcast, the first thing we're going to talk about in terms of subject is what just happened yesterday. It was yesterday?
What happened?
In the Minneapolis?
Minnesota.
I was dancing salsa, so I don't know.
Oh, no. So
what happened yesterday? I was dancing.
I'm sorry.
So that's
I was dancing salsa. That's
so
my
you didn't
issue.
hear what happened? Okay,
No.
so let me take the time
I want to talk
explain.
about Chrystia Freeland. That's what I want to talk about.
Oh, yeah, we're going to talk
We're gonna
about that too. I know you have
It's
an
funny.
opinion about
These
that.
are Chrystia Freeland.
Yeah.
And what happened in Minneapolis is what I talked about on today's episode of my
really?
podcast.
There you go. There you
Yeah.
go.
See, so we're.
So
But
yeah,
wait,
so
hold
we're
on,
quick
there.
wait, hold on. I just love how that is like such a coincidence, and because
Yeah.
I don't believe in coincidences. I believe that things happen for a reason,
Yep.
as
I agree with
confirmation.
you.
That you know what I mean. Different confirmations for you. It might mean something different for me, for him, but it's a confirmation for sure. Because even how you guys met, not a coincidence, confirmation. So take it for what it is, and whoever's listening, if you needed a word, if you know what I mean, this is it, baby.
But yes.
I love this woman.
We can-
I felt like I've known her a lifetime.
you know?
Tonight.
I know,
When am I
right?
hanging out with her again? She's fun.
Exactly.
but,
we're gonna go salsa.
Oh, I thought we're not gonna do.
We are
She's trying to
definitely
get
doing
everybody
it.
She was. Can I say
Who's
Tammy
still
was?
coming?
Tammy was doing some salsa moves like, on the other side of the cameras, and I was blown away. I said, "You know how ridiculous I would look?"
No.
And my wife was trying to get me to take dance lessons. Anyway, that's another
I
story.
am
for
backing her up,
Oh, no,
and
no.
me and your wife, we are taking you to dance salsa.
No, we're not.
Yes, we
I'm telling you right now.
are. Mark my words. Those of y'all that know me,
You could take her.
we going salsa.
I'm going nowhere. I'm going with Stevens.
You coming.
The Total Wine. I got my next bottle of LS
Cigars,
liquor. Brought to you
cigars,
by-
LS. Cigars and LS.
And you know what?
You doing cigars?
You coming along too. Because you two, you been needing to come dance
Oh,
salsa.
my
You said you
legs.
was getting- no.
Oh, my legs.
No, you coming to both of y'all. Period.
But yeah, let's get back on the track.
subject,
So
yeah.
basically, what happened? So
Minneapolis, yes,
of course,
what happened? A shooting?
Yes. So basically, ICE, as you know, because we talked about it a lot on the pod, they shot civilian that was part of coalition that are trying to block ICE from deporting people.
And what nationality
basically-
was the civilian?
White. So and
Which makes a big difference.
which
Yeah.
make a
It's already a massive story, but
This
huge.
thankfully, if it was a black person, forget
Yeah,
it. It
forget
would have
it.
been
It
the
would've
next.
been- it would've been-
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so basically, okay, so you need to see the footage.
Yeah.
Okay. So what I'll do is I'll put it on my phone and then I'll add it in post,
Okay.
whatever, because you need to see this. It is completely.
what kind of iPhone
bonkers.
is that? Because it's looking pretty slim.
And you might have to
No, it's
watch it.
Samsung, yeah.
And you might have to watch it a few times because I watched it before I came up with an opinion on it or
Yeah.
thoughts on it. I watched it 10 times.
Yep.
Really?
Yeah,
Really?
because
Just to
you
watch
really have to watch it
to
carefully.
Okay, yeah.
Because if you look at it too quickly or you're looking at one
Yeah, no,
angle,
for sure. No,
you
have
might
to-
not. Yeah.
you have to be objective about it for
Okay.
sure.
So
Text here. Why don't we just let you watch this? But we're going to do this in a very sort of deliberate way.
Yeah.
Let people know
Absolutely.
that this is video we're showing for the first time. You're not going to see it a lot on our air because we want to make sure that when we're showing it, we're doing it with a purpose. So there's no audio here as well, and you're going to see this sort of play out. So just a warning to those who may not want to see this. You can see the vehicle there. That's law enforcement pulling up in the pickup.
And it is the Honda Pilot that we should be focused on here. It's about a purplish, reddish color here.
move the car. That's
Agent
what they're
walking
saying.
up.
Move the car.
And then there's another agent. I don't know if you can see that one right
Did you
there.
see what happened?
Three agents involved.
So this-
One was kind of close
this
to the
officer
front
shot
of the
her
vehicle.
while she
The
was
other,
driving away.
kind of pulled on that driver's side door handle.
fast, though.
Yeah,
So
that's
again, there's no
fast.
audio
When you
here.
see
We
it in
don't
live,
know
but
what's-
now
what's
everybody's
being
slowed
said.
down. There's
We don't
multiple
know
cameras.
Really anything
But
else about this woman, other than we know that she was not the target of the initial investigation. That was confirmed by the police chief. But there are some other angles of this as well that are being looked at.
Oh, he shot her through the windshield.
Through the windshield.
The video.
So, okay.
And again, we're
So, again, the reason why we're talking about this because at this point, a lot of people saw this video. It was basically everywhere.
Well, yeah,
At
what
this
are they-
point
what are they
today,
doing?
there's multiple angles of it.
Is there
okay?
riots?
Oh yeah. There's riots
are
over there.
rioting,
There's
okay.
there's riots like.
Okay, people
but-
are protesting. People are
Yes.
not for this.
Yes, of course,
Okay,
not. Of course not.
okay,
Because
okay,
so I'll give my opinion first about this. I think ICE are doing too much. I think they're doing too much. Okay, but there's always a but. An officer is telling you to step out of the way. You are stopping them from doing their job. Tammy, okay.
Say your opinion, baby.
I'm just telling you. the
Baby, I'm
facts.
going to say what I'm going to say after Lord Jesus.
I'm telling you the facts. The facts are ICE are law officers. Okay? They are. They are.
I'm just going to sip my LS,
But
baby.
I mean, it's a fact. But it's a fact.
Okay, good. Keep on
Okay?
preaching, baby. Keep on preaching, baby.
They're coming in, you're blocking them. They're stepping out of the car. They're saying, ma'am, move your truck. Okay? And at that time, there's somebody close to the vehicle, and you're recklessly driving towards them. You're trying to get away, but there's officers there. They're going to say, my life was in danger. I felt my life was in danger. Therefore, I used deadly force to stop that danger from killing me or coming back. Imagine the car drives and then tries to come back, and you don't know what they have in the car and whatever. And that's it. That's what they're going to say, you know? But yeah.
Tammy.
Yeah. So,
No, I'm waiting for Tammy.
So I don't even know about this situation, right? So I'm really not well versed. I just seen the video. I'm just going with my logic here. My just human, feminine, motherly logic, right? How many times has this happened before? Where someone's in a car, a police officer says either get out the car, don't get out the car, whatever, and the person decides to gas. That shit happens all the time.
Yes.
I've seen it happen, right? I've seen it happen, literally. They did not shoot the person. The police officer could be close by to the car. They will get out the fucking way. Police officers are also trained to not put themselves in fucked up situations, right? Meaning, you know damn well not to get in front of no motherfucking car. You know what I mean? In a hostile goddamn situation. Right? That's number 1 through 10, right? So logically, number 1, he was already not doing what he was supposed to be doing because you're not supposed to be putting yourself in front of a fucking vehicle. If you're going to put a vehicle in front of a vehicle, that's different. They will use their cars. I've seen that too. They'll use their cars to like swerve a car off the road or whatever, but they will not use their bodies and go in front of a car. That's not that's not smart. It's a hostile situation. No, I shut the fuck up when you was talking. You gonna do the same thing to me. Thank you. Now, okay? Now, that's what I'm saying. Now, I understand if he felt his life was in danger, that he would shoot, right? But that is when someone has a gun and is pointing at the officer, and the officer is saying, put the gun down, put the gun down. And if the guy walks, he has reason to shoot, right? Because he charged him, right? But this doesn't make any sense. How many times have officers been put in this situation? And yet they continuously do this. And I understand what you're saying, that ICE is police officers, they're law enforcement, they're this and that. But at the end of the day, sometimes I think that we give power to people that are untrained, right? And you know what? I think that this whole environment of what's been going on in our society with immigration, you know, illegal people being in the country, whatever, this is not healthy for anyone. Everyone is on les fucking nerfs, man. Everybody is like, oh my god, everybody's stressed the fuck out and everybody is acting out of character. This is not normal. What happened, what I just seen on video is not normal because this happens in the hood all the time. This shit happens in Montreal, it happens in Laval, it happens in Blainville. I've seen it, I'm sure you've seen it.
Yeah.
Where someone's in a parking lot and the police is saying, no, pull over, whatever, and they, bam. Does that give them right to start shooting people up in Montreal? I'm asking you. You who thinks that it was right. I'm
not saying that it was right.
No, that's what the fuck you just said,
I'm saying that's what happened.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
I never said it was right. I said it was...
He was defending himself because he felt his life was in
Tammy,
danger.
let's be real. I said this is what they're going to say to justify what
I'm going to have to
happened.
replay because that's not what I heard.
No,
I'm not
telling
calling you a liar. Okay.
No, I'm telling you.
But I don't believe you.
But
I'll listen to it and
I'm
I will
saying to
rectify
you now.
my
I'm saying to you
statement.
now. Whatever I said is this is what I meant.
Yeah.
And what I meant is they're gonna justify this by
Okay.
saying
Yeah,
that.
but what do you think? Do you think it's justifiable that he shot her?
I don't think it's justifiable. No.
Okay. Do you think that it made sense that he was standing in front of her car?
I don't think it makes
in a
sense.
hostile
I don't
situation.
Yep, 100.
Okay. Then we good.
Can I say something?
We good. Let's carry on.
And I'm
What do you
gonna
think,
let Frank. So I just want to finish. I do not think that the officer should have been close to that car that way. If that person, that's the only thing I would say.
It's a hostile situation.
But go ahead, Frank. Go
So
ahead.
my opinion doesn't really matter. There's a reality and something that I learned a while back from actually a gentleman who you met in Cherry Hill at the Total Wines, my cousin, who's been on my podcast. He's a detective, and so he's got
Well-versed on
he's
this.
got lots of guns, and
Yep.
he's
Experienced too.
extremely experienced, and I can't talk about the work he does, but he does some very important work.
Yep,
Yeah.
And it's
100%.
not always in New Jersey. Sometimes,
All over the
if the
place.
the felons are from New Jersey, they're different states. He goes
Yep.
to different states. So I've discussed similar happenings with him. And the truth of the matter is, because I've even said it, now upon viewing the video now for an 11th time, I see it. My logical brain says, shoot the tire.
Right.
Okay, that's how I think. Or
100%.
in other instances, I would say,
the
let's
leg.
say shoot the leg, shoot another part of the body, stop the vehicle, whatever the case is, right? My cousin's response in the past, when I've talked about that, Frank, that's not how we're trained. That's how we lose people. We are trained if we're in a position where our lives are in danger. And if you see some other angles of that video, you have to watch. I watched.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying.
I watched
yeah,
different angles.
Yeah.
He's being like the car's going at him, and he doesn't know whether this woman has a gun,
Yeah.
whether this woman is gonna. This woman could have ran him over. So he's thinking defense mechanism immediately, and that's training. He's trained to do what he was trained to do: shoot to kill and ask questions later. I had this discussion with him at a restaurant the night that I met Stevens with my cousin. It said, I get it, I understand. And this hadn't happened yet, right? But so many things have happened like that in America. And I said, the things that Canada doesn't get. He goes, well, first of all, Frank, we're dealing with a very different gun culture in the U.S. There's a Second
100%.
Amendment. That's number one. And you both know, and I mean this with all due respect, because I've talked to African-American Canadians, African-American friends of mine about this. What's the last thing you do, especially as an African American in the United States? This woman was white, but it doesn't really matter, whoever you are, but especially if you're African American. I've had these conversations with my friends. When a cop tells you to stop the car and put your hands up, don't drive away.
No, for sure.
Now, it doesn't mean you deserve to die,
No.
but comply. Now, there have been people who seemingly complied and were shot. Well, then we're going to let the justice system handle that. But the last thing you do is what this woman did.
Yeah.
And they are trained to protect their lives and the lives of the officers behind them in the public, and they will shoot. Now, I could live in a fairy tale world where I'm like, I'm going to shoot him in the leg. As I said, shoot the tire. It's not the Dukes of Hazzard, you know? I don't know if you guys remember that show. You're a little young. The good old boys. Okay. But that's not what it is here. You're not, it's a split-second decision.
Yep.
Whether you survive or not.
Yeah.
Now, looking back, I could see where Tammy's coming from.
Yeah.
Because after seeing the video for an 11th time, I'm looking at it going, ooh, that angle, I'm not convinced. And then I know
for sure,
exactly what Stevens is saying because that was my initial thought too. And I still feel we got to keep the reality aspect to this. And opinions, sure, everybody has opinions, but the truth of the matter is the officer reacted the way he was trained. Now, if we're going to have a discussion about whether ICE should be there, why ICE was there, for sure, I'd love to talk about that too.
Yeah, for sure.
That's
So listen. So at the very least, we all agree that something weird happened.
No,
in
for
the sense,
sure.
like it was
Sad.
not a.
I mean-
it's really sad. But again, me, what I'm saying, where I agree with Frank is. Right now in the States, I feel. I mean, not even in the States. Like in North America, okay. What I'm feeling is that there's people that are living in a bubble, okay, where it's okay to protest and break stuff. It's okay to do like whatever, like and.
No, I don't agree that it's okay to break stuff.
No. So, but there's actually
It's
people,
happening, yeah.
Tammy,
Okay,
there's
it's
actually
happening.
people
Okay.
that have platforms that are saying, oh yeah, it's okay to go. Break the windows out of a Nike store and take all the Nikes and go sell them on eBay.
And many of them
I like
are
a good deal,
are
but
paid
no.
protesters too.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
another
yeah,
story.
That's another story.
That's another story too.
What's it called? Agent. What? There's a.
Well, they If you're
There's pas conservateur, agent.
provocateur.
Yeah, exactly.
Provocateur.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's a name for that.
No,
yeah.
for sure. There's a,
Yeah. So again, to my point, what I'm saying is that this lady is the exhibit A of the type of person that shouldn't be in that position. You want to protest? Protest. Go on the hill, do it correctly, and whatever. Don't blockade people while they're doing their job. Like
That's true. I agree, but
Go ahead.
I agree, but at the same time, and again, I'm saying I'm not well versed on this. I only see one angle, but whatever. And I get what you're saying also, that they're trained a certain way. I have a very, very good friend of mine who's in the Marines, and he's a what is it called? A gunnery surgeon. So he deals with guns and whatever.
Right.
And he'll tell me the same thing. Like, if I have to shoot and kill a kid, I'm shooting and killing a kid. I don't have a choice. I'm gonna protect my own. I'm going home to my kids. So I get it, but I just feel like. And again, I can't speak too much because I'm not in that situation, because I would probably shoot everyone, because I'd be like, fuck all of y'all, I'm scared. Right?
Yeah.
But I feel like there should have been a way to diffuse this situation. And I feel that, and again, I'm just saying this based off of my perception of what I see online. I feel that there's a lot of, I don't know, it's like a negative culture. It's a high animosity with the ICE thing that's going on.
For sure.
So they're stressed out. They're like, you know what I mean? And then the people are like this.
Yeah, but that's also attributed to the administration and the fact that
For sure.
it's led by Trump.
Yeah.
If that were Biden, Obama
would've
sending
been
ICE
different.
officers, there wouldn't even be an issue about
No,
it.
for
It's
sure.
because
Yeah,
they're already
I heard somebody on the radio refer to ICE as Trump's immigration police.
Yeah, which is ridiculous.
It's
Which
not.
is crazy.
It's
Which
not
exactly
Trump.
that brings that.
ICE
type
is
of
ICE.
culture.
ICE was there with
Yeah.
Biden. ICE was there with Obama.
Yeah.
They might not use them the same way, but it's
Well, they did other things.
They
that-
did other
They
things,
did
but
other things.
like people forget, like Obama deported more people than Trump in his first term.
Yeah.
And a lot of people forget that because they just don't want to believe it because he's black, and they want to believe, oh my God, our first
So-
president.
And he
Our-
bombed more countries with more casualties
Yes.
and
our
fatalities.
and our black people were in worse financial positions with Obama than anyone else.
Listen, that I can't talk about because I don't know what's the state of people right now, like
I
today,
agree.
today,
I
today,
agree.
right now.
I don't know.
Because right now things are bad. Okay, like
are
people
bad,
people
yeah.
are hurting. Things are bad, but I'm just gonna say this to close the loop on this. This young woman was a mother. She had 3 kids. I don't remember how old were the kids, but it's still, and I don't think they have a father. So I think they're orphans now. So to me, I think it was reckless on everybody's part. I think ICE was reckless in the way that they move. I think, you know what? I heard this on another podcast. Somebody said Minnesota should be responsible for that too. Minneapolis, whatever. Because instead, so they're coming in. You know that they're coming in. Help them make this, whatever they're doing, like it's still your job to make sure everything happens correctly in your state.
Safety.
In your state, exactly.
Okay, but on her
The police could have dealt with that lady because they know how to diffuse situation. ICE is not taught to diffuse, and that
I feel like they're instigators. I mean, again, I'm just off my perception of what I see online. I feel like ICE instigates. I mean, when they walked out of the car, you could see the demeanor. It wasn't very, hey, let's talk, let's have a conversation, what's going on.
Yeah.
It was very like ICE-ish, right? But I'm curious, Stevens, for you to say that, everyone has their part to play. What did you say was a bad choice on everyone's decision? If she was protesting, what's wrong with that?
Oh, there's nothing wrong with protesting. It's the way that she
Her
was
mistake was hitting the gas pedal and taking off and heading
sure,
right
because
into
that's
the officer.
And that's
that was the
funny.
mistake.
Yep.
She was going to go to jail regardless
Yeah.
because you cannot, if someone is telling you, if a police officer is telling you, stop, get out the car, stop the vehicle, you don't go.
It's tragic what happened,
You don't
but
know.
it's when you look at, you got to look
Yeah,
at the
that
facts
for
of the
sure.
story.
Yeah.
She doesn't hit that gas pedal and head into
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
officer. That doesn't happen. So
And again, I would need to listen to the audio, but I think the officers were telling them to get out of the way, and the reason why they stepped out of the car is because she was not compliant. So I think at that point they were going to arrest her. So I think they were walking towards, and I think that's why she started to
Put the gas pedal
to not get arrested because they were going to remove her by force, basically, and that's where she pressed the pedal. You know,
that's another thing too, and I say this in regard. Normally, I say this all the time to pedestrians, but I feel like it also fits in this type of situation. I'm always like, sometimes you'll see, let's say, a pedestrian crossing the street, right, and it's their light. It's their light. They're allowed to go, but you see a car coming full fucking speed. Get out the goddamn way. I know it's your light. I get it, but that car, if it hits you, it's done. You're dead.
Yeah.
Even if the car is wrong. Even if it wasn't his light.
Yep.
If you see him coming and you see or for a stop sign and the car you see is coming fast, I wait.
Yep.
If I'm crossing the street, I'm going to wait. It's my right to go, but I'm going to wait, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like it's the same thing here. Sometimes we feel empowered in certain situations when we are protesting, when we are trying to, faire valoir notre point.
Yeah.
And I think that it's important to remember that, there are institutions, there are police officers.
Oh, for sure.
And we
100%,
have to
100%.
abide by the law. It sucks sometimes, trust and believe. I know. I know.
Yep.
But you have to. It just is
And
what
it's
it is.
also difficult, Tammy, for Canadians to understand because we don't have the same gun culture. We don't have the Second Amendment
for
in
sure.
the United States.
Yeah.
And this is the point.
Yeah.
When those officers are trained that way, it's because they just assume. Look,
Everybody has a gun.
That's it. And
sure.
I said that on my podcast
For
today.
sure.
The way I am, I go into the United States, I just assume everybody has a gun. So if somebody
100%.
cuts me off,
Yep.
I'm not going to start giving the finger, start
No.
yelling. I don't know who's in that car.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now, I think there are more good people. Not I think, I know. There are more good people out there with guns than bad people.
Yeah.
Here in Canada, it's the bad people that have the guns.
Yeah. Yep.
Chances are an event like this would not happen, doesn't happen as often, even though it happened in Longueuil to that young kid
Yes.
over
Yes.
the summer.
Yes.
It does happen as well, but it doesn't happen the same way because Canada doesn't have the same
Yep.
gun laws.
Yep.
People are not holding guns. So they're trained differently, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. But in the United States, they're only trained one way, and that's shoot to kill.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that comes from every movie you've seen as well in pop culture. It's
100%.
shoot to kill.
Yep.
There's movies named that for a reason.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
And
No,
that's
right.
just the American culture. And I think I said it before the podcast, born out of revolution, American Revolutionary War to the Civil War
Yep.
and the North and South fighting with each other and slavery.
Yep.
And then the Emancipation Proclamation and then the two World Wars
Yep.
and all the foreign wars that happen. It's just a different place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So to not understand that, there's more to the story than just
For
that.
sure, for
You
sure,
have
for
to look
sure.
at
We
the
have to
whole
look at the big
picture.
picture.
What do-
Yeah, for sure.
So that's the way I look at
The
it.
big picture.
100%.
That doesn't mean
Picture.
it's justified. I'm not sitting
No.
here saying, "Oh well, too bad." I'm not one of
No.
those people. I just look at the facts.
And
Yeah.
I think what's not helping is the fact that you have JD Vance that's gonna go on there and say, like, oh yeah, not that she deserved it, but basically sort of apologizing for not apologizing, but like justifying what the officer did instead of like understanding, like saying, okay, we're gonna do more training for the officers in the future. We're gonna make sure we don't want this to happen again or whatever. Like they're basically saying, hey, get out of the way. Like if you want to get shot, you're like knowing that people are legit scared. People are seeing their neighbors being. We're talking about Charlemagne earlier, and you know what he said? He said, was it last year, or I think it was. I don't know why, or was it during Trump's term? Anyways, he was telling something about his daughter going to prom, and her prom date couldn't come anymore because he got picked up by ICE. And
It
like,
sucks.
Like it's affecting people's
No, it is.
lives. Like people are seeing their neighbors getting picked up, pregnant women, people crying, people losing their job. Like it's people been in the country for like 16, 17 years, 20 years, been picked up out of the blue.
I know,
in
but
a
at
van.
the same time, they should and that's one thing though that we have to understand as people that are not born in a country,
Right.
is that it's not your right to be here. In the sense of if you want to be here, then you have to go through the proper channels.
Yeah.
Because if not, it's just number one, you're living in anxiety day in, day out because
Yeah.
you know you can get deported, right?
Yep.
Then you're not living your life fully. Your kids are not living their life fully. All these secrets, a whole bunch of shit. It sucks to have to do things legally, but if you want to go to another country, and I'm not just talking about people coming here to the U.S., I'm talking also about us going to other countries.
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
We have to do things the right way because if not, sooner or later you can get kicked out, and it's not.
Yeah.
And we can't sit here and be like,
Even if it's been 17 years.
even if it's been 17 years,
Yeah.
because it was 17 illegal. You know what I mean?
Years,
Years.
right.
And I get it. The person has their life,
Yep.
has their things together, has
Houses, pay taxes,
I
you know,
get
like
it. I
kids
get
go
it.
to school.
I get it. Under a fake name, though,
Yeah.
probably.
Oh, wow.
But you look at all the
No, but
former
it's true.
administrations
Yeah.
that neglected to do the job
Yeah.
Yeah.
to police it, and it's gotten to the point now where Trump is just okay because he is abrasive in the way he
No,
does
no,
it.
for
So he's
sure,
just,
he is.
We're
He's-
getting ice for doing it, but
He's not
what
giving a fuck.
But
Yeah.
but they're here illegally. So it's been decades of a mess that was never cleaned up, and
Yeah.
that's how he does business.
Yep.
Now, might not be everybody's cup of tea, but that's how he gets it done. But I agree with Tammy. The bottom line is, as our parents, I can't speak for yours,
Yeah.
but everybody
Yeah, my
came
dad went
here
through immigration.
legally.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Whether they were landed refugee
Right.
status people,
Whatever,
or whatever,
but
they came
legally.
here legally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it. And that's why
there's no,
we
there's
can-
no, and if you don't understand that,
Yeah.
if you think it's a free for all, the reason why America is a mess or Canada has become a mess is when it becomes a free for all.
Yeah.
And people are abusing the system.
Yeah.
for
Which
sure.
is why they're trying to change
And it's
it.
because we also pay for it.
Yeah.
And that's what sometimes people forget. People are just like, yes, okay, let's just, everybody, it's honky-dory, ring around the rosies.
And-
Okay, good, let's all sing Kumbaya.
Yep.
But all of our tax dollars pay for that.
Yeah.
So at the end of the
So
day,
in the same vein,
Yeah.
sorry to cut you off,
yeah,
in Minneapolis,
Yeah.
in Minnesota,
yeah.
there was a fraud scandal that just came out
Oh, I've seen
Somalian,
that with the daycare.
with
oh.
the daycare.
Which is why they're there.
Oh,
That's why they were
Oh.
sent. That's why they sent the officers there, because they're trying to get down to who's. There's 100,000 Somalians, and the biggest fraud ever committed in the United States. They say billions of dollars in this fraud. Where this YouTuber kid that took
I've seen that.
a journalist, a young man by the name of Nick Shirley,
Yep.
to expose the biggest fraud ever in the United States in a democratic state, and Tim Walz, Tampon Tim,
Yep.
just resigned.
Resigned, yeah.
He's a shoo-in
I mean-
to win
I mean-
the next
I mean,
governorship.
yeah, exactly.
And
So-
he
so-
resigns because he doesn't want to answer questions.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he knows
Yeah.
Because he knows
this
it's-
is not good.
Yeah.
This
He's
is-
going to have to explain to his constituents and other Democrats, is this true?
What
And it
happened?
is true.
And it
there's,
is true.
There's places, the Leering Center, you saw, not the
Oh,
learning, the
my
Leering
God.
Center. Places that have empty classrooms, and it's so many different buildings
Yeah.
and vehicles and buses not being used. And what's going on?
Yeah.
Is anyone going to answer that?
Who's
So
taking the money?
how does Trump handle it? Okay, we're going to send the ICE
here
agents,
and
and we're
just-
going to get people
Yeah,
out of there
here.
because they're there. Obviously, they're not there
Yeah,
legally.
no,
Okay,
for
so,
sure.
anyway.
They're doing shit like that.
I don't know how Nick Shirley discovered that.
It's amazing what he
but,
did.
But
Yeah.
yeah. So
when
so
he was at the door. So where are the kids?
Yeah.
What kids? What are you
Yeah.
talking about?
And-
kids?
and
I
they-
was like, oh my god, this is reality TV at its best.
And they
I was like, what
invited-
is going on?
They invited MSM, the mainstream media.
Yeah.
They're like Nick did, and the person that he was getting help from in
Right.
Minnesota. To say, well, come and expose it then.
Yep.
Come and see it. No one was willing to do it
Yep.
because obviously, why would they go against the people that are giving them the money,
Of
which
course.
is the Democrats?
Of
right?
course.
And
So-
you see, that's where I have issues in politics because no matter what, there's always some type of envelope being
Yeah,
given
for sure.
Yeah.
somewhere, somehow, someone has an interest in something and they're just gonna be quiet or whatever, which is why I think at all cost, journalists and journalism needs to be protected.
Yep.
You know, during COVID here, what was really killing me is when so many journalists, you know what I mean, were getting
They turned a blind eye.
oh man,
They weren't journalists. They were just reporting what
they were
the government and
what
the-
was doing, and I was just like, "What
But,
is going
guys,
on?" But it's because their salary,
yeah,
pause,
yeah.
their salary was being paid by all of these big companies
Yep.
that are backed up by the governments, and that's why, and that's problematic. Which is why, you know what? As much as I love radio, I love TV, I think it's important, and hopefully it gets to continue because I mean we all grew up on
Yeah.
it. At the same time, podcasts like these, the fact that regular schmegular people like us can sit, you know, in front of a microphone. We could take our phone if we want, and we can go and literally awaken thousands of people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? From the comfort of our home for $0. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And I
Yep.
think that's something that's really, really powerful.
I mean, it's
That's-
not $0, but I get your point.
no, but I'm just saying. No, but like me, like let's say I'm taking example during COVID.
No,
I
I totally get your
I was
point.
doing lives every
Yeah,
day.
yeah, I totally
was
get your point.
online.
Yeah, no.
I was, you know what I mean?
You're talking about creating your platform regardless if
Just
it's on a
regardless, it
podcast,
doesn't-
even
if
if
it's not high
taking your
class.
phone. Yeah, for sure, for sure.
You know what I mean?
No, listen, I think for that,
It's important.
I think like people
Hold on,
underestimate.
wait,
Yeah, go
I
ahead.
just want to say one thing. You know, everyone has a voice, right? And you know, sometimes people think that you have to be in back of a microphone, in front of a camera, in order to have an impact, and that's false. And I just want to reiterate that to everyone because I say that all the time, right? You can literally take your phone and have an impact. You can literally make a video, have an impact. You could write a comment, have an impact. It's so important to speak up and speak out and to stand up. I just want to say that because I see that sometimes, you know, people write me, "Oh my God, Tammy, what you said in the podcast,
Yep.
you're so right. Keep going, keep talking." And it's like, I will trust and believe, but you need to do it too, right? You need to do it too because everyone has a voice and everyone can have an impact. So I just want to say that. My bad.
100%. No. So I was just gonna say, I think that's again the beauty of the social media aspect of it
100%.
and whatnot. To me, just want to piggyback on the COVID thing and whatever. I think it was like an operation that was bigger than life itself. It seemed. So I'm not even mad at the journalists because Joe Rogan was there. You know what I mean? Like, because at one point it's please thank
I
you.
was gonna say, am I the only alcoholic here? Don't let me be the only alcoholic
Okay, a
here.
tiny bit.
Here, let's go. Yeah, just to
Tiny. Thank you.
just a little refresh. I'm just gonna put a little.
So again, my point, what I'm saying is that we live in an era where we're blessed to have the choice to listen to different
Alternative voices, independent
voices
people.
and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
thankfully.
And thank God, and again, I don't agree with everybody's like, Joe Rogan's take or whatever, it's stuff like that. Like sometimes they say stuff and whatever. Oh, sorry.
Like-
Bucking you? Okay. Why did you move it?
Nah, because I want it centered. Because
Okay.
you're putting it like
As
this.
important
Look,
as it is, you can't block
look,
the Tammy.
look, you're putting it like this. Babula. This is nice.
There you go. No, but yeah. So, anyways, like, how many people did Joe Rogan expose with the COVID stuff and whatever? Like, you had the guy from the mRNA vaccine that created it and stuff like that.
Dr. McCullough,
Exactly.
Malone, and they were amazing.
Malone,
Guys, like,
Thankfully.
guys, even like when he was talking about the medication he was taking, ivermectin.
Hydroxy-
Like, ivermectin is a Nobel Prize winning drug, like whatever. It saved lives and
Yeah.
whatever, and people are like, oh no, it's horse deworming. Like what you talking
Yeah, and they
about?
turned them yellow on the CNN. That
on
was
the
pathetic.
Yeah,
what they did, but-
so again, I just want to digress. Like I'm saying, thank God we're in this era where we can actually have the conversations and have multiple. Look at what Candace Owens is doing with Charlie Kirk right now.
I
That-
love it.
That is
Candace Owens.
That is bonkers.
What's going on right now? I
Guys,
don't even know. Macron,
guys,
all of this.
guys,
I'm like, oh my
and
God.
I think that's the reason why Candace Owens gets a bad rep out there, like from the traditional media. The stories is so far fetched. She comes with receipt.
Yeah.
But it's so far fetched that people are like, "Come on,
I've
Like,
always-
it can't be true."
I've always been a fan of hers, but she lost me in the last month.
Oh, because of what?
Well,
Macron or Charlie Kirk?
no, the Charlie Kirk, because I was a big follower of Charlie's, and I mean, look, there's conspiracy theories, and then there's the Candace Owens conspiracy theories,
Yeah.
which I find there's just way too many.
Okay.
And I've been called a conspiracy theorist. You've probably
me
been
too,
called
for sure,
one,
of
and
course, yeah.
by
Probably,
association,
yeah, probably.
51st State podcast. You must be wearing an aluminum hat
We,
yourself.
we never went to the moon, so
Yeah. But and exactly. And saying that today can get you in
Can get you in a lot of
trouble.
yeah.
But I just look. I always say the truth is somewhere between the conspiracy, right, and the facts.
Yep.
And sometimes it's the conspiracy,
Yeah.
and sometimes it's the facts.
Yeah.
But lately, Candace Owens has been all conspiracy to me. And
Okay.
I'm someone who's watched her.
But
since day
what
one.
do you say the last month specifically? Because
Well, I mean, it's like the Egyptian planes and the multiple shooters. Even though I don't think one person,
Did that.
Tyler or whatever his name, Robinson, one person killed him. I mean, from the people I've talked to who work in law enforcement, said that's a tough shot.
That's a
Yeah.
tough shot. And he was supposed to be a 17-year-old kid or something?
He was
A kid, no?
21,
21,
whatever
yeah,
it was.
that's still
But
very young, yeah.
impossible that it's him.
you know, and then he did meet with Erica Kirk. They did talk, and it seemed things seemed to quiet. Look,
She's out here wilding, living her best
It's
life.
yeah. I mean, it's just a lot. It's and my wife liked her as well, but lately it's been it's
So
just
I'll
been a
say
lot.
this.
So,
I'll say this.
yeah,
Okay,
that's
I'll
not to
say-
say I
yeah.
don't like her.
Yeah,
I still
yeah.
watch.
Yep.
But I'm like skeptical on a lot
I'll say
of
this.
what
I'll
she's
say
saying.
this. Okay.
I want to say something too after.
I listened to Candace Owens since I started because of the Macron thing because
Yeah.
I thought it was fascinating.
Yeah. That I'm convinced she might be right on that
convinced.
one.
I'm
Oh,
convinced.
yeah.
I'm convinced. And the
That- yeah.
slap in the plane.
Yeah.
You remember when she slapped
Yeah, she slapped
Macron? To me, sealed it for me. Like
Yeah.
it was so weird. It was the weirdest thing to me. They're off. There's something
really
off with them,
was
like
weird.
100%. But I'll say this. Candace, what I feel she's doing, she's just throwing stuff, right? She's throwing stuff. She's backing it up with like the
backing it
planes,
up with
the planes. She's openly saying, "Hey guys, here's the spreadsheet. Here's the proof. Here's the public data.
Go check it out.
Here's the public data of Charlie where he was and Erica where they were, and the plane always being there. Boop. Public data. Do with it as you will. You know? The plane made a stop in Delaware, in an hangar that was like rented by a friend's thing that was owned by Jewish people, whatever. Guys, public knowledge. I'm just putting it out there. Boop. Do with it what you will. You know? So again, them not asking for an ambulance to be on site, you know, whatever. Recently this week, she said there was no plans. He had a speaking engagement on the 10th. He got shot on the 9th, correct?
He got shot on the 10th.
And he got shot on the 10th. So on the 11th, there was a speaking engagement in Colorado. No plans for security. As if they knew that it was not gonna make it to that. Like saying there was no guys.
There's a lot of inconsistencies.
Guys.
I'm not saying that there isn't. I'm just saying with Candace, there's just too many. There's hundreds of them. Now, can we speculate that some of those are going to be she's onto something?
Yes.
I'm not saying she's not. By the way, I think she is one of the most talented.
Oh my God.
She's
Never mind podcasters,
yeah.
but communicators of her generation,
Yeah.
of your generation. I don't even know. I think she's
Sometimes I
younger
get
than-
anxiety
fantastic.
watching her. I'm
Yeah.
like,
she's fantastic.
she's so good, yeah.
But look, my wife and I always watched her, and as I said, in the last month, it's. I looked at my wife. She's a lot now. I find her to be a lot.
Yep.
But
I
I'm
think
still
she-
watching.
Yeah, but she comes with receipt, and I think at that point, Frank, to be honest, and close the lid on that, like.
No, I don't want to say something.
Oh yeah, sorry. I felt the same way, but I take it like it's okay. You know how I watch Candace now? She starts talking, I get where she's going, and sometimes I fast forward because Candace, I don't really care about all of the back. Like she's over receipt. Like she has receipts on receipts on receipts
It's all
on
receipts.
receipts on
yeah.
receipts.
It's a lot.
Not Tammy. Candace, I don't need all those receipts. Just tell me what it is. Just tell me, hey guys, this guy, no. For this reason. That's it. You know? And then if there's extra people that want to go dig on a PDF somewhere on whatever, hey, put it online, whatever. But like, oh yeah, this family immigrated in 1910 and then they were in the army, so this guy now is in the army, so now he got shot by the same gun that is great. No. Where's the bad guy? Let's focus on that.
And where's the proof? You need
Yeah.
you need the proof.
What do you want to say?
You know, my take on Candace is, I agree. She's the best communicator. I think she's amazing. I like the fact that she speaks out. She speaks
Yep.
out. I mean, she stands up. I love what she's doing. I think it's interesting. I think it's important. But then there's a side of me, you know, my dad always told me, question everything.
Yeah, for
When
sure.
you think you know, question some more.
For sure.
Right? So I'm just like sitting there and I'm like, all of this is so wild, right? The whole Macron thing.
Yep.
Then after that, now the Charlie Kirk thing.
Yep.
Then after that, now, okay, all of these things coming out, the proof. Erica's out here living her best life,
Yep.
having fucking fireworks. She's out here fucking doing somersaults. And I'm just looking at this and I'm like, this is just craziness.
Yep.
Like if I just take a step back, something's not right here.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
People would think that, okay, she's giving all the receipts. yay, go Candace, whatever. But then I'm just like, it's just all not making sense to me.
Get it?
So for me, I'm just like, hey, sitting back, and I'm just like, I don't know what more to say, right?
for
Like,
sure.
okay, and why would someone want to kill Charlie Kirk to that extent? I mean, if we're not out here killing Trump like that, if we're not out here killing Trudeau, if we're not out here killing all of these presidents, why did Charlie, what did he know, or what was he doing?
Well, it was
you know,
what he stood for.
what he
right?
stood for, but I mean,
And money.
there's so
And they
many-
tried to kill Trump.
Right.
And they
Yes.
missed, and then they almost killed him a second time.
Right.
They had him. So it's that
Yeah,
part of it
but I
is,
mean-
is very plausible.
But I'm like,
But it's all the other stuff. It's like you said. I
It's
agree.
just
It's just a
weird.
lot of
It's
stuff.
just-
It's a
Uh-huh.
lot
It's
to
just-
digest, and at some point you want the dots to connect.
Yep.
Yeah.
And as you said with the receipts, let's call them all dots.
Yep.
Nothing's connecting.
Yep.
So I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm just sitting there going,
And it's
okay,
like-
is it going to come together? Is the picture going to come together? Or
I
something?
think
'Cause-
I think at this point, I think what it is what's connecting is that people
what-
people seem to be lying. We just don't know why.
That's possible. Yeah, I'm not going to deny that.
It-
The
That's
story
it. That's
seems
it.
very.
That's the only reason why
It's a stretch to
her
me.
podcast
No,
is now the most watched thing in the world
Yeah.
and whatever is because she was able to prove that they were lying. That's it.
Yeah.
no.
So
for
now
sure,
after
but
that,
what
the
about
Egyptian planes, the other guy that worked with Charles Manson or whatever, MK6 Ultra, whatever, and all
MK
that
Ultra.
stuff. That to me, that's just gravy.
But what about if
She
it's-
proved that they were lying.
Yeah.
We don't know why.
Okay.
We need to figure out why.
But what about, this is just me, and I know some of y'all in
Yeah.
the comments gonna be like, oh my
And then
God,
we get
Tammy,
we
you're
get
such a conspiracy
we got to do
theorist.
Patreon afterwards.
Yeah. We're finishing with this. But, imagine, imagine if all of this is happening because they do want us to focus on this.
Yep.
And not look where we're really supposed to be looking.
Yeah, it could be too.
It could be a complete distraction. So I'm just saying
Yeah.
to the people, listen, use your logic,
Yep.
use objective, analytical, critical thinking. Just question everything. And when you think you know, question it some more. When you think you have all the proof, question it some more. Receipts can be made up. And I love Candace, and I'm not saying she's lying. I'm not saying whatever. I'm just saying we have to question things. Some, I don't know. It's just in my spirit. Something not making no sense out here. Okay.
No, I agree with you. We definitely have to
Something-
question and
something not making no sense out here.
Yep. No, I agree. So, anyways, guys, there's our take on
Yeah.
Candace Owens.
Yeah.
Guys, we're gonna jump onto Patreon. We're gonna continue the conversation, but on Patreon. So you go to patreon.com/51st8. You go on there, subscribe, support us, and we're gonna be able to continue the conversation on there. So we get extra content every week. Frank, for the regular viewers that are not going to join us on Patreon, thank you for coming.
I appreciate
you.
being on here. Thank you, guys.
Do you want to tell them where they can reach you? And,
Yes, you can reach me at Freeway Frank on Instagram or on X as well, at Freeway Frank. And the podcast is called The Drive-By Podcast, available everywhere you get your favorite podcast, Spotify, Apple, Amazon, you name it, tune in, it's there. And I would love to have you join me on there as well to follow my podcast. Appreciate you being there. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And just as a preview, we're going to talk about Christophe Freeland and
And y'all need to go see that because now she went Ukraine and she took all our money, y'all. Okay?
Leave some.
Ciao. Ciao.
So, guys, again, thank you so much. Thank you for supporting us. See you next week. All right. See you on Patreon. Peace.
Peace.
Thank you.